Hi class, today we will begin with making trousers pocket. Alright, so I have some patterns here for you guys. Alright, I have this trousers side pocket 1. Alright, and then as you can see, trousers side pocket back A 1. Okay, times 1 means cut 1. Alright, and then I have the other one, trouser side pocket back B, also time 1 means cut 1. Okay, and this one is trouser side pocket back C. Okay, so we have A, B, C and the trouser side pocket. Alright, now we are going to cut it out of the paper first. Alright, then once we cut it out of paper, we will have to cut it on the fabric. Okay, so let's cut it out on the paper first. Okay class, now I have cut the pattern pieces into like this. Alright, I have to cut according to 1.5 cm outside this line. You see it states 1.5 cm seam allowance. SA stands for seam allowance. Okay, so outside this line you have to follow the line to cut the paper. Alright, so basically this line is where you will sew your stitching line. Okay, so I have cut out trousers side pocket and I've cut out trouser side pocket back A, and this one B and this one C. Alright, okay, so now I'm going to cut my fabric. So let's cut my fabric. Okay class, before we cut the fabric, we pin the fabric nicely onto the fabric. So we pin the pattern pieces nicely onto the fabric. Okay, and since there's no unfold or cut 2 means times 2. Okay, there's only times 1 here. If there's time 2, you need to fold the fabric into half and cut, but since there's only 1, so 1 layer of fabric is okay. Alright, it's enough. So now we are going to, I've already pinned my fabric to the pin the pattern pieces to my fabric. Okay, so now I'm going to cut according to it. Alright, okay, so now I have prepared all 4 pieces of pattern for the pocket. So if you see, the back is fabric, the front is pattern. Alright, now we are going to start sewing. Let me teach you guys how to place the fabric first. Okay, you can start removing the pin first. Okay, guys, before we continue, I want to remind you guys one more important thing, that we need to cut fusing as well for this. Alright, so basically what you can do is you can create a 3 cm fusing. Okay, now since I'm going to teach you guys how to cut the fusing, alright, let me tell you guys for which one do we cut the fusing. Alright, so trouser side pocket back A, we need to cut a 3 cm fusing here, 3 cm fusing that goes around like this. Okay, so either you can trace this part, from here to here, 3 cm, trace it on another piece of paper, and then you cut the paper out, and then you lay it on the interfacing, on the fusing, and then you can cut the fusing as well. Alright, now I'm going to cut my fusing. Okay, I've prepared my fusing. Alright, if you see, okay, if you see nicely, there's one side that is very glossy, like this, like shiny. This is the glue part. Alright, so this glue part has to be stick with the wrong side of the fabric. Okay, so this is the shiny side. I'm going to stick this shiny side up here like this. Okay, alright, on this side of the fabric. Okay, when you cut the fabric, alright, I'm going to put a 3 cm up here. Alright, I'm going to iron this on. Okay, so now I already placed it here. I'm going to iron it now onto the fabric. Now the fusing is being ironed onto the fabric. Now it's perfectly seated on the fabric. If you see, it's ironed on. You can keep it for a while more. The iron don't make it too hot, yeah? Level 1 is okay. Alright, so I'm done this side and I go on the other side. Iron my fabric all nicely. Okay. Alright, so my fusing is settled in. It's already ironed nicely in there. Okay. So if you check it, it's kind of like sticking to the fabric. The fusing is sticking to the fabric. Let me show you guys. Okay, it is sticking to the fabric. It's not going to come out. You have to iron it. Okay, it's not going to peel off. Alright, so now let's do the layering. As we know, this is pocket A. Pocket bag A. Okay, this is pocket bag A. Alright, let's do the front side first. Okay, now I'm going to look for trouser side pocket, which is this piece. Oh, I think I need to iron it as well because it's so crumply. Okay, once I have all this, alright, I have number 1. I have the main pocket, which is almost A4 size, that is cut here according to this pattern. Okay, according to this pattern, right? This will be my number 1 layer, alright, and this one with the fusing will be my second layer. Alright, so I'm going to pin them together. How am I going to pin them? I'm going to let the right side face right side like this. Okay, like this. Okay, how? Let me show you again. So basically you want the pocket to be like this. Okay, can see properly. Let me zoom. Okay, so basically this is the right side of the fabric. Okay, and this is the wrong side of the fabric for the second layer. Alright, wrong side, and this is the right side. Okay, so they are like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the right side of this fabric face the right side of the pocket A fabric. So like this, I'm going to flip them. Okay, once I'm here like this, you see, right side, wrong side, wrong side. Okay, can see clearly, right? Let me. Okay, so we are going to sew 1 cm here. Okay, 1.5 cm, the seam allowance. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pin them up nicely before I start sewing. So if you realize, we will be doing the curve stitch over here for 1.5 cm. Okay, right, now I'm going to bring this to my sewing machine, right? Okay, this is how the back looks like, this is how front looks like, the back looks like the front. Okay, so I'm gonna pin this. Okay, now as you guys know, I have to sew 1.5 cm seam allowance, so I'm gonna put so the distance between my needle to this hole here, this line here, is 1.5 cm. So I'm gonna put it under my foot, then to put my foot down and to take off my pin, and I'm gonna start sewing. All right, always remember what to do. Yes, answer yourselves. Okay, wait a moment. Okay, once you're done sewing, you'll have a line and cut off the excessive thread, and you have something like this. All right, now what you are going to do is you're going to snip your notches. Remember, I have mentioned before, whenever you have curves, you are supposed to, like this side is all straight, so you don't need. So when it comes near to the curve, you are going to cut the shape, the V shape. Okay, you're going to cut the V shape. So you're going to do this for the rest as well. Okay, so now you have a V shape. What you do, you turn the right side. You turn to the right side. This is the wrong side, correct? Your wrong side, and then you cut the V shape already. You turn it around, alright, to the right side. You're supposed to make it like this. So let's iron this open first. Let's iron this first. Okay, so now I'm going to iron this as I mentioned just now. I would like you guys to push all these towards the fusing side. Push it all to the fusing side, alright? And then you can iron it. Okay, and then I'm gonna come to this side. I'm gonna push it everything to the fusing side. Alright. Once I already iron everything, okay, I'm gonna flip it like this. I'm gonna iron them as well. Okay, once I'm done ironing them, alright, once I'm done ironing, I'm going to do a top stitch on this side. Alright, so I will be pushing all my fabric. You see, this is the longer fabric, correct? And this is the pocket A. Okay, according to the pattern, this is the pocket A, pocket back A. Alright, so I'm going to do the top stitch on pocket back A, which is this side. Means I'm going to push all my seam allowance, which is this one, to the pocket back A side, which is the shorter side compared to this. Alright, I'm going to push all the seam allowance to the pocket back A side. Alright, and I'm going to do a top stitch here, a top stitch here, 0.1 cm. Let's go to the machine. okay, under the machine. So my line is here, alright, my stitch line is here. Seam allowance push to the short side, which is pocket back A side, alright, and then I'm gonna put this under my machine. Make sure I got like 0.1 cm. Alright, now I'm going to do my top stitch. Make sure all the fabrics are properly arranged, especially at the curved side, yeah? So if you guys realize, this is my front pocket, alright, the front piece, which is the A4 size one, the trouser side pocket, alright. And if you flip it inside, this is my trouser side pocket bag A, alright. So as you can see, the 0.1 top stitch has been done, alright. You can iron them again, alright. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to go to my next step. Okay, the next step, we don't need this trousers side pocket, alright. We don't need this side, we put it aside. Remember just now we cut this two piece again, alright. So basically there is a trouser side pocket B and trouser side pocket C, alright. Now we are going to attach these two together. So what we do is we put these papers aside, okay. We know this is B and this is C, okay. So we are going to pin them together, alright. This is the right side and right side, correct? So I'm going to pin these together. They have to be attached like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn them around like this, okay, and I'm going to start pinning them. Usually the curved part I will leave it to do in the end. I usually do pinning for the straight part first. That's because if no, when you pin, you will realize there's a lot of balance fabric. Okay, so what I'm going to do is carefully pin my fabrics together. Make sure there are no gathers made. Okay. Alright, let me finish this up, finish pinning. Okay, I managed to pin 1.5 cm. Okay, at the seam allowance there shouldn't be any pleats or fold or gathers, okay. So when you're pinning, make sure, be careful. Okay. Right, now I'm going to put this under my sewing machine and I'm going to sew. Alright. So when you open up, it becomes like that, a straight paper. I mean a straight pocket. So I'm going to sew this up first. Okay, I'm gonna start. Okay, see, if you see, everything have been sewed properly. Alright, even the other side, there's no gathers, there's no extra, like, yes, these fabrics are extras, okay, but at least when you sew, there are no gathers made. Alright, so what we are going to do now is we're going to iron everything. We are going to press this towards outside, but before that we have to do one thing. Alright, we have to snip the bottom one. Alright, if no, you can't iron it down smoothly, so you have to snip this lower piece. Okay, so it's basically like that, correct? So you can't iron it down because it will flip up. So the lower piece, which is this piece, this one, from this fabric, right, this one, we are going to snip. Alright, so what is snip? So basically same thing at the corner area where it is becoming curvy, only one, yeah, only one seam allowance, yeah, only one fabric seam allowance, yeah. When it's nearing the corner, you're going to cut a V shape. Right, you don't have to cut a neat V shape also, you can just snip it like that. Right, okay, now once you have this, now when you iron it down, you won't have any problem, you won't face any problem. Like just now when we were trying to iron it down, this part was standing up, correct? So now there's no problem, we can just iron it. Alright, iron this thing. Okay, once you're done ironing, alright, you have this piece like this. So what are you going to do now? What are we going to do now? We are going to do top stitch on this piece of fabric, okay, which is the pocket back C. So remember, we push all our seam allowance towards down, right, towards down, correct? Now what I'm going to do is do a top stitch here, 0.1 cm on this fabric. Okay, let's go to the machine. Begin sewing. .1 cm. Okay, so once I'm done with the top stitch, so I will have something like that. Okay, and the back will be something like that. Alright, so what am I going to do now? I'm going to bring back just now what I did. So I have two pieces like this. Alright, if you guys observe properly, let me raise my camera a little bit. Okay, so I have two pieces. I hope you guys can see. Alright, I have two pieces. Alright, so what am I going to do now? I'm going to put these two pieces, I'm going to turn this around like this, alright, and then I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to put it like that. So basically I'm going to match these squares, okay, this square, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pin it. Okay, here same thing, 1.5 cm, I'm going to pin it. Alright, and here as well, I'm going to pin it. When I pin this one, alright, when I pin this side, this is the pocket side, okay? I'm not going to pin along with this. I'm just going to pin this, alright? So basically the front pocket, correct? This is the front trousers pocket, okay? And mentioned just now, the inside one, the two fabric have to attach together, alright? I already put already. So I attach, I pin this up, but I didn't include this fabric, okay? So now I have, okay, one side, you know, okay, like this. Okay, I have one side, two side. Now I'm going to continue pinning this area. Alright, so of course I cannot pin with the top fabric. So I have the hole like this. I'm going to pin this. Right, and I'm going to pin up here. So once I'm done pinning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this to my sewing machine. Alright, you see just now the two-piece pocket we attached together. Alright, see just now the front and back, correct? Now they are one piece together already. Okay, so what you do, you sew this 1.5 cm and then corner stitch 1.5 corner stitch up to this point. Alright, up to the stitch that you can see. Alright, now let's go to the machine. Okay, I'm gonna drop my foot down. Remember, 1.5 cm seam allowance. I'm gonna start sewing, reverse stitch. Okay, sorry, I can't put that down. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this down. It's 1.5 cm already. I'm gonna turn the fabric around, I'm gonna put it down, I'm gonna continue. Remember, my needle was still down, okay, when I turned the fabric. Alright, I think this is 1.5, let me check. Yep, right now my needle is still down when I turn the fabric, okay. Now I'm gonna sew up until the stitch point here. Okay, and I'm going to do reverse stitch, and then I'm going to come back, and then I'll take it up. Alright, okay, so once I finish sewing this line, you see what I get? Okay, I got the pocket. Alright, now I have the whole pocket. When I turn it around, okay, I can actually put my hand in here and wait. Okay, I can put my hand in here and it's pocket. But the thing is, you see this thing is flipping open, correct? So you need to place them nicely, alright? And then you are going to pin this area nicely, alright? And you're going to do 1.5 cm, okay, from here, from this point, you see, here, 1.5 cm to the seam area. Basically, because I'm using black thread, so you can easily see. Okay, you see my black thread stops here, the under one. Okay, the under black thread stops here. Alright, so I'm going to start from here, 1.5 cm until here. Okay, so let's do it. So basically, I'm done sewing. Okay, when I zoom out, this is how it looks. Okay, so this is how your fabric is gonna look like. Okay, okay, these extra threads that I'm supposed to cut off. So when you're done, alright, you will have something like this. Okay, this is the back and this is the front. Alright, so this is all sealed nicely. It's done. Okay, Remember to label down here trouser pocket. Okay, trouser pocket. I hope this is clear. Okay, trouser pocket at the bottom. Thank you very much.